Hello and welcome to Dark Heresy, Felonies of Fate. Session 40, I believe. Oh my, how things have gone. In the last session, the party had finished interrogating Daniette, who was one of the throne agents working for this mysterious Inquisitor. And Daniette, during her interrogation, had stipulated that Ulysses Deshamer, the Inquisitor, is still alive and still giving orders. Although she revealed that only to Alexandra, and Alexandra revealed that to the rest of the group. So there may have been a little bit of telephone involved there. Although Tyrion also would have overheard that answer, and Tyrion would have confirmed it if anyone asked. The party left the church, where they left Daniette in the care of the cleric, with her hands and legs manacled, and proceeded to walk out of the lush garden area of the ecclesiarchy in this hive, passed through a large stone wall barrier, and made their way to where Melba, the Navy pilot, had parked the Valkyrie. Everybody got into the Valkyrie after Melba was chit-chatting with Hammond about, the name of her Valkyrie being something about cherries or fruit or something like that. And it seemed that nobody picked up on the hint that I was trying to beat you all over the head with. Fungi being excused because Fungi wasn't, Krios failed his GM rolled awareness roll, and a Bobob wasn't present, so I don't even know if a Bobob even heard the augury that suggested that danger. In any event, everybody got... Oh, sorry, what was that?
I personally don't remember anything from the augury that would have suggested to this. But that's just me.
I don't have the exact augury in front of me right now, but it was something along the lines of someone who is weak-willed and hungry will be tempted by forbidden fruit. In any event, team got into the Valkyrie, and suddenly an explosion, and the big stone wall that was fairly close to the Valkyrie toppled over and landed on top of the Valkyrie, crushing various components, but not harming anyone inside. Very frustratedly, Krios, Malachi, and Shelby began to clear away the rubble that was blocking their exit from the Valkyrie, when Krios noticed somebody standing, I think it was like 30 to 15 meters away, who he recognized as Anton, another one of the throne agents serving with Mikaisen under Deshamer. Anton just kind of casually jogged behind a wall, part of that larger structure, that part of it collapsed on top of the Valkyrie, and Krios immediately whipped out Henry and shot through the wall, nearly killing Anton. In fact, Anton's right arm is now ruined. He's going to have it surgically removed.
It was a pretty fucking bitching shot.
So you did re-roll with the fate point. And scored, what was it, like 48 damage or something like that?
Yeah, it was quite a lot.
Yeah, poor Anton. So at that point, Krios told Tyrion to run after him. Tyrion squeezed through what little hole there was, while Krios, Shelby, and Malachi doubled their efforts to remove the rest of the rubble. And Tyrion gave chase to Anton. Anton proved to be a very wily prey, and even though Tyrion was leaping off of the sides of buildings and doing parkour and free running, she just lost him as he dived into basically the middle hive, going down a layer from the noble district that they were in. She pursued him, lost track of him, and in this moment, back at the shuttle, Shelby was given permission by Krios to use her psychic powers to clear the rubble quickly. And Malachi very nearly got caught with the rebel as Shelby just unleashed warp energy and blew it all away, kind of like a massive shotgun. She rolled a 9, got psychic phenomena, and a very familiar screeching sound filled the air. And Talia had to admit, oh, so it wasn't a rebel's weapon, it was, oh, right, whoops. This caused most everyone to be deaf for about 40 seconds, and also caused Tyrion to have a little more frustration in trying to find Anton. But as everybody in the middle hive was gripping their ears in panic or pain, she noticed a few people diving for cover that just the trench coat was the same color or the boot was the same color. And by luck, she happened to chase Anton out of those 4 and cornered him in an alleyway. He was covering his head. Oh, no, actually, that's right. He wasn't covering his head because his arm was ruined. So with his other arm, he was holding his wounded shoulder when he turned and was confronted by Tyrion. They were about 30 or 40 meters away, something like that in the alleyway. 30. Anton drew his pistol. Tyrion dived for cover. And Tyrion made an advance on him as he was trying to reposition himself to escape. And Tyrion missed with her first attack, and Anton detonated a flashbang grenade right there. In fact, he had it in his wounded arm, and basically, well, I'm not sure, Jess, if someone were to hold on to a flashbang grenade when it detonated, how fucked would their hand be? Imagine he'd probably lose the hand.
Well, he's gonna lose the arm, so what difference does it make?
Exactly. Oh, really? Wouldn't be that bad? No, there's too many versions? Okay. But in any event, he detonated a flashbang in his own hand. It was the wounded arm, which was a wound up at the shoulder, so he still had just enough motor control to, pull the pin out with his thumb. And boom, Tyrion failed her toughness roll and was blinded for, I think, 5 rounds or so. And in that time, she could hear where Anton was going, but because she couldn't see him, she was just kind of waving around her blades haphazardly. She attempted to chase him into a building, not realizing that he tricked her. He opened the door to the building and then ran the other way, knowing she was blinded. She fell for the bait, went into the building, and as her vision returned, she couldn't find him. She assumed he went up the elevator, but really he was back in the alleyway retreating.
That bastard.
Tyrion reported this to Krios, as Krios and the rest of the squad started to fan out from the Valkyrie. Krios said, track him down, find him. Everybody sort of fanned out, except for Talia. And Talia eventually told Krios, just calm down. He's baiting us. He's trying to get us to follow him. He's a red herring. Krios agreed, called everybody back, including Tyrion. And he analyzed the ship, realized there was no way he was going to repair it in a reasonable time frame. So back to the church everybody went. They informed the cleric that there's a chance that a terrorist essentially is going, the terrorist who blew up the wall is going, there's a chance he's going to come and try and rescue Daniette. So be prepared. He might even come with backup. So, raise some faithful to band together and defend this church if that were to happen, basically. From there, the party started walking. It was, I can't remember, 5 kilometers, 6 kilometer, maybe 7 kilometer walk if it were a straight line. But considering they're up on the upper crust of a hive city, it's not a straight line. Still, as they were going, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Terrence who suggested to Talia, I'm hungry. Can we take a moment to grab something to eat? And I rolled a critical failure on Talia's willpower roll to say no to him. And instead she's like, oh, all right, we'll have some snacks. And so team went to what was effectively a noble-born equivalent to a fast food joint. And the cheapest value meal was 100 thrones for each person. But everybody fronted the money and got their food. Talia said, eat it within 10 minutes and we're out of here. And that's when a limousine pulled up and a rather too big for his britches fellow came strolling on in. And Talia, like, oh, I'm going to go hotwire that. She didn't actually say that to anyone. She just immediately exited the restaurant and headed towards the vehicle. Well, Tyrion saddled on up next to this handsome young man and said hi. And he, in response, said, hello there. And she decided, well, this is a perfect setup. I'm going to try and seduce him. Rolled a 55, confirmed. Uh-huh. I rolled his willpower to resist. Rolled a 66, confirmed. Uh-huh. Well, that was a mighty fine little coincidence. And the party was granted the opportunity to ride to the Hive Governor's Spire in style. The planetary governor's tower was still a few kilometers away. And he's like, you know what? I've always wanted to go there. Everybody get into my limo. Fuck the, actual noble that I'm serving who sent me here to grab food for them. That doesn't mean shit if I'm going to, go meet the planetary governor. That's my ticket to the top. And he requested that Tyrion go in the front seat with him, and he almost requested that Trauma Cat go as well, but the Mechadendrites kind of weirded him out. So he just stuck with the more traditional girl that he thought he could have an intimate moment with. And so as they were flying, he basically requested some roadhead, to which Tyrion, I believe, slapped him in the face.
Maybe verbally slapped him in the face. I don't think she actually hit him.
Oh, okay. But in any event, his pride was wounded, but he just sulked for a while and eventually turned on the communicator between the front and the rear of the limo and asked, all right, tell me what your confirmation code is to get into the Hive Governor's Tower. At this point, people suddenly realized, oh, we need authorization to get in. Right. Well, Terrence suggested, show him your authorization, to which could have been perceived in multiple ways. Talia assumed Terrence was suggesting she show off a rosette. Tyrion may have assumed, spread your legs. It was all very ambiguous. But Talia flipped out and slammed her hand onto the comm thing and said, don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Terrence explained what he meant. And Talia's like, oh, well, in that case, yeah, put your dagger to his throat and tell him we're going in anyway. The guy was freaked the fuck out, but Tyrion went ahead and did as ordered, putting the blade to the man's neck. And he explained that, no, you don't understand. If we don't have an authorization code, we are getting shot down. The planetary governor's tower is covered in anti-air weapons because there's a fucking war going on. Damn you, Joe. Don't you dare. Well, then become a psyker and take control of the weather. Duh. Yay, Thunder Demons. Anyway, party's in the car. I can't remember who suggested it, but ultimately Alexandra flew out of the limo and into the driver's seat, forcing the driver to squeeze between Tyrion and Alexandra. And on they flew closer to the tower so that Krios could open the door and use his optical mechadendrite to scan the tower. And I think he rolled like a fucking 2 or a 1 or something obscene. And I said, all right, fine. You've got a full schematical scan of the energy loadout for those weapons. And you can see plenty of anti-air autocannons set up on the tower, but they're all connected to a central generator on one of the floors, about 10 to 20 floors down from the top of the roof. Krios lined Hendry up for a shot, took the first shot, penetrated, but didn't deal enough damage. All the anti-air turrets started to point at the vehicle. Krios lined up a second shot. As the first barrage of flak started to fly, Alexandra deftly flew out of the way, avoiding any damage, but caused Krios to miss by a mile. Perhaps even a literal mile, considering the distance and all. But in any event, Krios went for a third final shot and managed to connect, deal enough damage, and shut down all of the planetary governor's upper air defenses, and triggered an alarm, naturally. But to hell with that. Team flew in, landed on the roof, got out of the limo. Alexandra told the driver, stay. And I rolled a 5 on a D100, I believe. So, yeah, Bob, Alexandra did a very good command roll on a NPC that you weren't here for. The team proceeded to then walk down the few floors to the Hive Governor's central offices, where they hope to find him. Mathras and Shelby pretty much immediately detected something awful beyond the big doors to the north. And so naturally, everybody congregated around the doors leading to this northern chamber. And that's where we left off. Am I missing anything?
I don't think you are.
Okay. So, hopefully Brooke will get back soon. But, Sunji, you received a telepathic message from Shelby.
What do you mean, hurry up? I'm right here. Krios will grumble, and I can't move him.
Oh, right. Sorry. There you go. You should be able to now.
Yep. He'll move. So can I go there, or is that tree completely in the way?
No, you can stand there. The tree is cover if you were to, dive behind it, kind of thing.
I'll stand there then.
So is anyone actually going to work up the courage to open the door?
I just had 2 questions real quick. Since I'm reunited with pretty much the supply case that was carrying all my weapons and stuff, would there have been more ammunition for my carbine in there? And second question was, whatever did we do with Daniette's gear and stuff?
Well, I kept asking everybody what they wanted to do with the gear, and I got some very mild answers. So at this point, I've decided pretty much all of Daniette's gear that hasn't been claimed by someone else is in the hands of Marnius, Melba, and Hammond.
Okay, because I was going to take that flamer, but I wasn't here yet last week.
Right. So I think I put the flamer on your character sheet. Let me just double check that. I did not yet. But yeah, you'll be able to carry the flamer, no problem. But the ammo pack is going to be a little much for you, actually, because that's backpack mounted, and you presently don't have the capacity to carry something that heavy.
Well,
you could have one of your minions carry the backpack while you carry the gun.
Well, I figured I was going to be able to carry the backpack for it anyway because I have a jump pack on. It seems kind of strange to have both of those things on the back at the same time. Doesn't seem exactly fit, but I would just carry the gun with just whatever. I would just.
So there is
take
no
the
other
gun.
ammo. The ammo is only in the backpack.
Okay, then probably I would have one of the people I work with carry, then whoever would be most likely know how to use a flamer.
They're all equally inept in that regard as far as they admit.
Well, at least it's not a big deal when it comes to a flamer. I think. Oh well.
There's a chance they set themselves on fire, but in any event,
Yeah.
Hammond is presently carrying the flamer.
Okay, and what about the bolt carbine ammo?
Your illegal ammo?
Yes.
You have one left.
Okay. I just didn't know if I had more
Marnius
than
is
that.
carrying that.
Okay. No problem then. So I just still have whatever I have for my bolt pistol then. Okay.
Well, you also have 2 nomads, the Fate Bringers, and a chainsword and an ironclaw shotgun that your minions are holding ready to hand to you with a simple order.
Okay. Then I'm fine then. Then yeah, I'll just let me see here. I should probably have opened my character sheet by now.
Yeah, I realize now that people are probably waiting for Krios to actually open the door, which, yeah.
So Krios is going to do the honors, not Malachi, who's actually already in front of the door.
I don't know, I thought that's what we were waiting for. And, yeah, there are other ways in and out of this place. 2 corridors by the looks of it.
Okay, well, Malachi, if you're not opening the door, Shelby's going to use her psychic powers, apparently.
Well, I was standing there because, if I remember right from the last time, somebody was already starting to open the door.
Oh, no. People were just taking position around it.
Okay. I was just here to be close enough. So either Malachi will try to open the door or Shelby at this point.
So, is Malachi going to go push the door open?
I have a vague memory that there might have been a console for this, but yeah, he will try.
No. These doors are traditional doors, big wooden with wrought iron holding it together.
Push the little cart hard.
All right, right-hand door, left-hand door, both doors, and how far are you pushing them open?
Well, I'll start with the...
Oh, just a sec. Alexandra is apparently interrupting me.
I rolled a 2 on a tactics roll. I was going to try to voice up a smarter tactic than all of us trying to go through one door at the same time, creating an easy choke point. I was going to suggest maybe we should split up and try to go through all 3 doors simultaneous.
But, you guys don't have a full map readout of this area.
Okay.
So, while the whole map is presently visible for you guys as players, your characters have only been in this one room so far of this floor. Previous floors you passed through, but there was nothing as major in Portobello.
Okay. Okay, I did. I thought we may have had a map. Okay, so I was just gonna why go all through the same door at the same time?
Although, tactically speaking, Alexandra would know that maybe some attempts to flank would be in order. So maybe explore if we know the threat is to our north and we have other avenues in other directions. Tactically speaking, why go straight into danger?
Yeah, not to mention it would also be more useful since we don't have the whole entire issue of, since we all gotta go through the same entrance, we're not getting into Krios' line of fire.
Tyrion could, go and scout. It's what Tyrion does.
So Alexandra's offered some tactical information. I'm going to roll for, what's her name? Talia's willpower to see if she's going to make an order out of it. And Talia, willpower. If she fails, she's just going to say, let's just go through the door. And that's a fail. Talia is saying, we don't exactly have time. Machiasen could already be in cahoots with the so-called Zinchian cultists. We know there's a threat straight ahead. We have immense firepower, psychic potential, and holy weapons at our disposal. I say we go straight ahead.
Okay. Well, Malachi will first push with the left hand to gauge how heavy the door is, and if it's not too heavy, he will push both doors open, but if it is too heavy, he will just open the left one first.
Okay. Well, you're going to find that they're very well greased hinges that have some excellent counterweight to them, so the doors, despite their size, will open much the way a regular sized door would, just because of how well their hinges are built.
Okay. So he would push both doors and push them open.
So he's going to allow them to slam all the way open into the pillars on either side?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Dramatic entrance.
Okay, so as he's shoving, Tyrion, what are you...
I am going to stealth up as soon as I see him, like, start to touch the door for the inevitable opening of it.
Okay, go ahead and give me your roll for that.
Ooh.
So I think each door is 6 meters long? Yeah, okay.
Well, I can move quietly. I don't know how well I'm hidden. Giggity giggity.
Okay, so as you swing open the door, I'd like anybody, pretty much all player characters give me awareness rolls. And Shelby will also get a Sinisius.
God darn it.
Okay. So the most obvious thing that stands out is, help to find them, there we go, a great big statue in the middle of a naked maiden fountain with water just sort of gushing from a kind of drapish dress around her midsection. And yes, there are marble boobs, Jess, but the statue is quite large, like 7 or 8 times the size of an actual human being. And the fountain, it looks like regular water. That's the most obvious central thing that pretty much all of you notice. Those of you with at least a base success will notice very dark, kind of almost shadowy nature to a balcony that runs around the upper rear of the room. And those of you who got even more degrees of success will be aware that that shadowy darkness seems to be moving, like very faintly, like it's smoke, tendrils of smoke kind of wrapping around each other and sort of blocking out the whole balcony up above. Additionally, there are blinds covering what you would assume to be windows around the lower part of the room. Additionally, there are a few other statues that you can see. I think maybe, someone would have line of sight on that one. I think Terrence has line of sight on that one, and Tyrion would as well. You don't hear anything out of the ordinary. You do hear the running water. And Shelby, your Sinisians, something over here in the shadows up above. Sorry, what is Alexandra mentioning?
The thing she knows because she had at least 2 degrees of success.
So she's mentioning the shadowy tendril darkness?
Yeah. And tell them where in the room it is.
So Mathras pushes his way between Marnius and Melba, basically moving backwards, shaking his head, and just sort of backing away. So Shelby is advancing. Anybody else advancing into the room?
I would I would tell my strays to stay where they are at the moment, and I would go in, pistol at the ready.
I will probably tell Kat to go and stay with the people staying outside the room as well.
I see.
Run over to the other
numbers.
side. And Malachi, would you order Terrence to advance?
I would order Terrence to advance but stay on the rear line.
Okay. So, Trios, you will have to go ahead of Terrence. He will not move until you're ahead of him.
Motherfucker.
And so, as the party is advancing, eventually a voice will come from inside the room, kind of reverberating, so it's hard to tell exactly where it's coming from. And it will say, "Oh, welcome, we have guests, come on in, and what brings you to my offices this afternoon?"
What kind of voice is it?
Human, very confident, arrogant with tone of voice.
Well, Malachi would just keep walking inside and say, show yourself. Much more commanding or intimidating way, but
Go ahead and give us an intimidation roll then. Okay. And I'm going to roll in. You actually will hear someone laugh kind of like that. And yes, but Tyrion, are you going to sneak about, or are you staying beside the door? And Krios, are you holding back, or are you advancing as well?
Advancing slowly. I'm sticking with the back of the pack.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak about, like, trying to find, like, maybe a staircase that goes up, kind of a deal.
So you want to sneak about and try and search at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, so move your token in the direction she'd be going and give me a search roll.
Probably just to, like, the edge of the door to begin with.
So as you guys come into the room,
It's not worth a fate point at this point.
all right, Tyrion, you're kind of distracted by some of these statues. If you can zoom in on them, you'll see that the little ones to the side here kind of... Oh, where's my tool?
BT,
There we go.
clearly it's the giant boobies. Let's be honest with what she's being distracted by.
Okay, maybe. I was just going to describe some of these statues. There is an abstract one. There's actually a couple of abstract ones. There's grotesque-looking ones that kind of looks like a decaying mother holding a decaying baby. Very gruesome kind of appearance. There's some kind of symbolic-looking ones off to the side. And if you peek your head just around the door, there's these weird sphere-like ones. And up towards the north, there's a very, very abstract one that is kind of elemental in its design, and also one that looks like a dancing figurine frozen in a very graceful pose.
Interesting.
But other than that, the room, it's a very nice marble floor, very nice marble pillars, marble balcony with velvet blinds blocking the windows, and that weird darkness up above. So the voice laughed. Is anyone else going to say anything to the voice?
I get the feeling I should, but I just can't think of a damn thing.
I think the Bobob's typing something, apparently. So.
Oh, something I typed in. Okay, I was just going to say, Alex was going to say over the microbead, try to make sure Krios has a line of sight, a clear shot of wherever that voice is. And then she was going to speak of, I take it that who's speaking right now is the governor?
Yes, indeed. I am Planetary Governor Zachariel, and presently you are trespassing, but, I'm feeling generous. So, well, we didn't have a party scheduled at the moment, but I'm sure I could entertain you if you maybe perhaps tell me who the hell you are. Okay, if nobody's saying anything, I'm going to say the silence is in character.
Malachi will look at Talia, since she did take the lead.
Because of Talia's earlier failed willpower, at this time she's just staying close to Shelby. It seems like she's focusing her attention on Shelby. And Joe, Terrence was given orders by Malachi to stay at the rear of the group and keep an eye open for threats. So basically, as far as Krios advances, that's as far as Terrence has orders to advance.
Alex, if no one else is going to speak, Alex is just going to say then, we would just wish to ask you a few questions if you can spare the time, sir.
Okay, give me a charm roll. And let's see, do you have any benefits for nobility?
Only if it's like military grade, if I remember. Yeah, because of my homeworld trait, I think.
Yeah, this is not a void-born governor, so.
Yeah. So, half of my fellowship then.
Oh, you still haven't. Oh, wow. I thought you had trained in charm, but apparently not.
No, I have everything but. I have.
You know what? We'll say inquiry. We'll say inquiry, because you do have inquiry at +10.
Okay, inquiry then. So, inquiry is fellowship anyway. Yay! Even slightly better. So 58 then. DC. I'll fate that because I don't want to piss him off right now.
Okay. And the more you walk into the room, the more a feeling of dread starts to kind of just weigh on each of you. It's kind of impalpable to define, but there's something like weighing down on your heart, with the exception of Malachi. Malachi, you're immune.
2 degrees of success.
Okay, and Terrence, are you advancing or are you just staying at the door? Okay. And everybody give me another awareness roll, please. Okay, and I think, Krios, are you trained in awareness?
I do not know.
You are. Okay. Base success for you, not quite enough. Kieran, however, I think you get like oodles of success for that because you got all those perception bonuses.
I'm plus 20 and my perception is naturally, I think, plus 10. So I have like almost 4 degrees, or I think I have 4 degrees.
And you have heightened senses of some kind or not?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I thought we gave you that, but it looks like we didn't. Okay. So at this point, it's actually only going to be Kieran who's going to get enough degrees of success at this point.
What a waste of a good roll.
And Kieran?
Yes?
You're not 100% sure, but you're pretty sure the location of the voice is originating from up above the doors as a kind of maniacal laughter begins. And Terrence, agility roll, please. Okay, so the big doors are slamming shut fast. Are you going to try and be on the inside of the room or the outside of the room, or try and wedge yourself between the doors? So Terrence is moving into the room. And they slam shut, and then bars rise up, blocking the doors from the inside. The laughter is continuing up above you.
Is there, like, a balcony?
Yes, the whole room is surrounded by a balcony all the way around.
Are there, like, things hanging on the walls that might be secure enough to climb up?
There are pillars. That's what these little poles are all around. Okay, so Jess, as Shelby moves that far in advance, that dreadful feeling intensifies like no other as something emerges from the murky shadow and drops down pretty much on top of Shelby unless she gets the hell out of the way.
Oh dear.
Fucking damn it.
All right, so fear tests from everybody because it is a demon, and you're all within range of its effect. So, oh boy, this is going to be pretty brutal for some of you because oh shit, -40 total to willpower for this thing. Allow me to describe its physiology. Unnatural flames of blue and yellow hues bounce around a swirling mass of ever-changing flesh. A single massive mouth, gaping and full of teeth, is one of only 2 immutable features of the demon. It carries a staff, which is just as constant as that mouth, but limbs launch suddenly or slowly wriggle forth from the mass of flesh at the center, gripping the staff only to wither and retract or be subsumed by another limb. Likewise, the creature stands upon legs which tumble out, then pull back again, not unlike a Chinese dragon dance. Behind these legs, however, is a thick, meaty tail. It seems to be doing the majority of the hard work of keeping this impossible creation standing.
Does Malachi need to roll for the
He's immune to the -20, but he still has a further -20 that he is not immune to. And so I don't have time to flip through everybody's character sheets at the moment, but if you guys are aware, if you have resistance fear, now would be a time to take it into account when you make your roll.
I don't think I can succeed. I think it's mathematically impossible.
So does Malachi need to roll, or is there another effort?
Malachi needs to roll, but he is not suffering the full negative 40 that everybody else is suffering. He's only suffering negative 20. And if he has resistance fear, that gives it, resistance fear will give him a further plus 10, so negative 10. And Shelby, your role is different, Shelby, because you don't get afraid of demons. Yeah.
I failed. Fantastic.
Unless Jaded or Fearless helps me here, I'm screwed.
No, Jaded and Fearless do not help against demons, because demons warp reality and fuck with your mind.
Malachi is okay with this.
Well, I'm at negative 11 then, so I have to roll a 1.
There's one more element to this that you guys are really gonna fucking hate. Because of I rolled this demon randomly, so all of its stats are randomized. It has a very special feature to it. Because it is the embodiment of fear to a certain extent, those who succeeded in their willpower rolls are forced to re-roll.
Well, good. I'm glad I failed.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, it's all right, Joe. You spend a fate point. You can keep your 1, but it's costing you a fate point to do that. Okay.
I'm going to re-roll my fate point. I'm going to use my second fate point of the day just so I can get a slightly less amount of fear than 81.
Nope.
I think Malachi, unless I have any other things. Well, I have unshakable faith.
So that will get you a free reroll, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I go from 8 degrees of failure to only 1 degree of failure.
Yeah, faithing.
And using a fate point. Wow. Oh, Malachi. Well, now at least you know that they were telling the truth when they said they faced demons.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
All right, so Malachi, you get a plus 30 for using a fate reroll. So I think...
That's still 2... 1. 1 or 2?
Well, your willpower would have been 44 with all penalties, I believe. So 74 would be your bonus. So yeah, just 1. Lucky you.
Yeah.
So roll 1d100 plus 10 for you, Malachi. I believe, Alexandra, you said you only had 1 degree of failure as well?
Yeah, I go from 1 to 31, and I got rolled 48, so that's only 1 degree.
Prios, your reroll was a fate point, correct?
No, that was the mandatory reroll.
Oh, I thought you'd failed your original. Oh, you got an 8.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Sorry.
So D100 plus 10?
Yes. So for Krios, your willpower was 49, which, the 8 would have been 1 point over success for you.
Motherfucker. So, D100 for the effect.
Plus 10 for the effect, yes. And I don't think any of you have insanely faithful.
I do.
Oh, you do? You have insanely faithful and unshakable faith?
Yeah, I have.
So then
I have everything.
How many insanity? Fuck. How many insanity points do you have?
11.
Okay, so technically you shouldn't have insanely faithful, but I'll give it to you. So you roll 1 more D10, or well, actually, no, it's another full D100. And then you get to choose whichever one you prefer, but you rolled a natural 1 anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you'd rather just keep that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my blinds are attacking me because that storm that Joe mentioned is making its way here. and suddenly it's like there's a fucking hurricane. Oh, wow, I can see the lightning. Yeah, it's kind of, God damn it. I don't want to close the window because it's so fucking hot. I'm getting my room turned into a little tornado. All right. So, Malachi, you're at -10 to fellowship for 3d10. Oh, that's traumas. What the hell am I doing? The character is badly startled and may only take a half action on his next turn, but afterwards acts normally.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay.
I failed big time, like 2 or 3 degrees.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by the stuff in my room because the wind is picking it up and throwing it around. All right, I'm closing the window. I really wanted to, cool breeze to cool me down, but geez, fuck. All right. Okay. So, Terrence, you spent a fate point. You're good. Tyrion, sorry. What was your... You rolled a 37?
And my willpower is -9 because I have resistance fear, which gives me +10, but my willpower is at -10 and it's only 31.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 1d100 plus 30. So 58. Reeling with shock, the character backs away from the thing that confronts her. The character cannot willingly approach the object of her fear, but may otherwise act normally with a -10 penalty on all tests until the end of the encounter, +1 insanity.
Woohoo! That's another insanity point for her.
You're at 79.
Yay, almost another disorder.
Okay. Oh, I haven't rolled for Talia yet. Okay, Shelby, Jess, do you want me to use Talia's fate point for this? Okay. Good use of fate. Terrence, you're not the only one who apparently just can handle it. I'm not sure exactly how Talia is handling it, but she is.
Isn't that like 3 ones?
Oh, yeah, Malachi rolled a 1. Huh. And none for Krios yet. Well, maybe Krios will get one later. So Krios, let's see then. You were forced to do a reroll. Ouch. Okay, Krios, did you want to use a fate point to do yet another reroll?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm going to have to roll an 8 or lower.
Oh, no, you get a bonus. You would have 28 would be your new DC.
As I was going to say, even with the bonus, that's 28. That's less than a 1 in 3. It's nearly a 1 in 4 chance. I'm not going to waste a fate point on a 1 in 4 chance.
Okay. So, said 56 was your roll?
Yeah, where's my roll one? 53.
Okay. So, 1d100 plus 40.
Don't like the sound of that. This is how many 70 points I'm going to get. I'll be very unhappy.
Panic grips the character. He must flee the source of his fear, if able, as fast as he can. And if prevented from doing so, he may only take half actions and is at -20 to all tests. 1d5 insanity.
It's going to be one fucking fun evening.
Okay, you're at 17 now. Which is pretty low considering this thing is the embodiment of insanity. Shelby, we know exactly what's happening to her in this circumstance. Alexandra, let's see, what was we determined?
71.
71.
That was
okay. The character is frozen by terror. The character may take no actions until they snap out of it. Once they've snapped out of it, they're at -10 for the rest of the encounter. 1d5 insanity, please.
Well, at least I only have 22, so there's no way I can go up to a 30.
No, you're at 28.
Oh.
You have 22 corruption.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, if I get 2 more points, I'm at 30 and getting into disorder, I do believe.
No, you don't hit a disorder at 30. You get trauma for doing a threshold of 10.
Okay.
Or actually, wait, maybe it is a disorder. I should double check that.
32.
32. Oh, okay. So yeah, you don't get that first disorder until 40 insanity points. But now you have to roll versus mental trauma.
Yay, more trauma. Okay, so this is just another willpower. Any penalties?
At this point, it is willpower plus 10, but you are still in the range of its effect. So -10 because it's fucking you up mentally.
So it's just base then.
Well, it's -10 to your willpower. Unless you have something else giving you a bonus.
Okay, so now I'm at 21 then, I think, instead of 31. Okay.
Solar flare! Sorry, Jess's comment.
Oh, Jess, why would you do that?
Aw, I failed, but no degrees of failure.
Okay, so D100 for you. And, yeah. Just go ahead and do the D100 for yourself.
71 again.
The character is constantly fearful, seeing danger everywhere and extremely jumpy. The character gains plus 10 bonus to perception, but a -10 to willpower for 1d5 days. Roll for the number of days.
So I'm now at permanently 21 willpower for the next couple of days.
Wait, that sounds oddly like the trauma I got.
Yeah, this is the same one you had, Kieran.
Which is
3 days.
So this trauma goes away 1 day before my other trauma goes away. The next 3 days I have 21 willpower. Awesome.
And in the field of effect, you presently have 1 willpower.
Hey! Oh, awesome.
Okay. I think, is that everybody at this point that is in the room? Delightful. Okay. So as you're all starting to freak out, the planetary governor cackles, and this is the Maw of Madness, my servant. He shall be entertaining you, and by entertaining, I mean slaughtering you all.
Mental note: the planetary governor is an asshole. He needs to die.
Hey, Terrence.
There was one interesting thing we know. Mikhailson was right about the planetary governor.
You would be firing blind, Terrence, and you'd have to point to where you want to shoot. Okay, yep, so what is Shelby going to do, Jess? Storm of Vengeance. Which one is that? Oh, okay, you're doing Barrage. And you're doing that against the Maw of Madness, I take it? Of course you are. You failed your willpower. Even with the -20 for... And fear rating. Oh, right. You ignore a certain degree of fear rating, don't you? Well, you are designed to fight demons after all, so... did we call that talent for you again? Armor of Arrogance. That's right. So, yeah, you treat it as a fear rating 1 creature. Although you succeeded, so you have to still do a reroll. You haven't done your reroll, have you? Yep, go ahead. You just keep on rolling. Ooh. All right. Well, mystery. Oh wait, I can't do square brackets because it's 2 bars up. So we redacted theater. 1d10. Excuse me a moment, everyone. I have to send Jess a little private message.
Joe, I want Haley here right now with her demon gun.
Hey, that demon gun was mine.
And you gave it away to someone who betrayed us. Good plan!
It was a good plan. I don't use guns. I'm horrible. Well, I'm average at it. There's nothing spectacular about my gun use.
Good plan, great plan.
Blame Masters, he told me that it could be dangerous in the wrong hands, so I immediately thought my hands were the wrong ones.
Good plan, great plan.
I'd rather have you firing wildly in the air with a demon gun that could at least somehow hit the demon than not have the demon gun here right now.
Well, I do have the Carnodon still from the Nurgle Tower. I could shoot at it, I just can't get closer to it than where I'm at currently.
So, Jess, are you fettering, pushing, or regular? Okay. Okay, so we've got a couple of 9s. And Jess, there's going to be a little something special in this case. I'd like you to roll 1d10 twice. So 2 separate 1d10s. Okay, now. So you may choose 38, 53, and then for the other one, 32 or 83. So 38 and 32. Demonic Mask. For a fleeting moment, the Psyker takes on the demonic appearance and gains the fear rating of 1 for the remainder of the round, but also gains 1 corruption point. Jess. That's the corruption point that I warned you about. Boy. Okay, let me just flip open the Radicals Handbook for a quick check here. I think you said you did not want to do mutations. You'd rather have the warp course through her. Fuck no to mutations. So yeah, you have to give me a 1d10. Well, you're about to gain more knowledge about the warp. Just spontaneously, it floods into your mind, but you're gaining 1d10 insanity points for it. And that's the 6 insanity points, I assume. Remember to label your rolls, people. warp. Oh, you never actually had warp trained. You only had it as basic. But now you have warp trained.
Splitting recording here real quick.
Okay, Joe.